Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Lands of Exploration, where I have not really done much over here, but if we turn around, you can see that I have more or less finished this B&M invert. It is called Castaway. You may have remember seeing it in the first episode when it was just like a lift hill and I think a 0G roll. Now it is an entire layout, and it is a intense little coaster. It's only about 80 something feet tall. Also, I'm not sure why that train is... Oh, that's why. It's in test mode, so the blocks aren't exactly working as they should. When it is open, it runs just fine without stopping on lift. I think usually the train has to stop on that block for like a split second, and then that one will go. But anyways, yeah, it is a intense little B&M invert. Timeline wise, it probably would have been designed around the mid-90s. And the only reason why I say that is because they don't really design inverts this intense anymore. It's very, very terrain friendly. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit like Nemesis and Montu. Nemesis is more terrain than Montu is. Montu just happens to have some subterranean elements, which I incorporated into this. Nemesis is actually built partially onto a hill, where as it goes down farther, the elevation, or like the difference between the top of the lift and the ground gets bigger. I don't know if that made any sense. I probably said it completely wrong, but hopefully you got what I mean. Yeah, like it gets... I don't know. Hopefully you get what I'm saying. I don't think I can articulate it right now. I'm kind of tired. I'm also a little bit sick, so sorry. But yeah, this is more or less the same as I built it in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. There are some slight differences that I decided to go with. Over here, this thing had more... I think after this, it went to the left, and then right, and then it went down, and then it dived into the loop. But instead, I decided to go for this helix. Also, I built these turrets right here to hide supports. It looks like for some reason the supports have moved. I don't know why, but they used to just all be completely enclosed within there. That's a bit weird. And then it would do this dive, and then over here, I think I had it just going directly to the right into the first corkscrew / wing over flat spin, whatever the hell you want to call it. And instead, I decided to give it a upward helix to the left, mostly because this ride has a lot of right turns, and I kind of wanted to break that up a bit, just so it doesn't feel like you're going the same way every single time you do something. So as you can see, let's go over direction. So right here you have a first drop, which is going to the left, and then you have the 0G roll, which is rolling to the, I believe that's to the left. And then you have a turn into a helix to the right, into a vertical loop to the right, an upward helix to the left. Then you bank right into that turn. Then it's a left corkscrew. And you bank to the right and then dive back down. Corkscrew to the right. Dive to the right. Loop to the right. And then into the brake run to the right. So yeah, I tried to kind of mix things up. Like I couldn't exactly go left, right, left, right, left, right, which would have been cool. But I at least tried to make sure that there were some directional changes that weren't all right turns. Because that's one thing that bothers me when I see like some people building things, and it's like, this is just like a big circle, and it's all right turns. Like, you need some lefts every now and then to, I don't know, you guys kind of keep the brain guessing what you're going to do. So I did my best to incorporate that. So speaking of inspiration, I had mentioned Nemesis, and one of the things that Nemesis does that's a bit different from most B&M inverts is that the first inversion is not a vertical loop. like you'll find on pretty much most inverts. The only other one I can think of at the top of my head that does not start with a vertical loop is Banshee, and that starts with a dive loop. This one right here starts with a 0G roll. I don't think any of them start with a 0G roll. Nemesis starts with a corkscrew, I believe. I could be wrong. It could be a 0G roll, but I'm pretty sure it's a corkscrew. So I wanted to do that, and then I wanted pretty much every single other element after the 0G roll to be shorter. I think the loop is about the same size. I just didn't want to tuck this thing too far under because I wanted the final loop to be really, really sunken, so that you can just barely even see it. Like if you're on the path, I want like this more or less to be the view that you get. Yeah, I more or less just tried to keep this thing a bit different from other inverts while still feeling like it would be a traditional B&M invert. Like in my opinion, it seems like something that they probably would have designed in the mid-90s. The inversions that it has aren't anything like revolutionary or groundbreaking. It has all the same inversions as a Batman the Ride. It's just in a different order. Like if you're going Batman the Ride, then you have loop, 0G roll, other loop, corkscrew, corkscrew. So yeah, it's the same as a Batman clone. It just has more turns and character to it. And this isn't like a slight against Batman clones. I actually really enjoy them. But they do all do the same thing, but they do it really well. Alright, now let's talk theme. So, this ride is called Castaway, and I did consider changing the name just because I've always kind of been like, I don't really know if I like that name. But I'm just gonna run with it. So, the theme of this ride is that your ship crashed and you're stuck on this island. That's the entire theme. Where a roller coaster fits in, I don't really have an answer to. I'm not going to make it something stupid like Batman. That's supposed to be like his crime-fighting device. It's his latest device, the Batman the Ride. I don't know. Let's go with this is a representation of the insanity that is felt while you are deserted on an island as a castaway, and you have nothing but your mind to deal with. It's a bit dark, but I think I kind of like that. So yeah, I'm trying to go for kind of an island feel. I do want to have some water elements incorporated. You can see right here where I've kind of built a moat around it. I can't go too far under, or like I can't go too far down. I can try and lift up the coaster and then raise it back, but I've tried that once and it did not turn out well. I couldn't get it to fit exactly where it was, and then it wouldn't let me place it. So I'd rather not have to do that, but I may end up having to do that. I'll just try and set up some sort of like height indicator with this turn right here. Like that's where the top of the track is. That's where I have to place it. So yeah, it's supposed to be an island, and I have these turrets right here. Like maybe at some point this was a Spanish fort. And since this ride is kind of adjacent to the pirate area, it somewhat fits in with that theme. So let's just go with the pirates ran out Spanish, or whoever had this fort here before, and it was an old fort. That's also why the station is going to be themed to a fort. So as the Castaway, you do have like lodgings, I suppose, but they're not great, and you're by yourself. And maybe they built like this little tent area right here to just keep themselves safe from, I don't know, rain or gigantic birds. Whatever's on this island, I'm not really sure. I haven't really set up that backstory yet, other than the turrets. Someone used to live here, and now they don't. But anyways, theming obviously isn't done, but I just wanted to show this off, and let's go for a ride in a minute once this train catches up. For now, we'll just watch it go through. This corkscrew right here is a little bit weird. It's elongated, and it kind of ruins the pace, but I can't figure out a good way to get it to work right, so I'll just go with it. You can look at it as a nice reprieve from the constant intensity. You know what? Let's just go with that one at the top of the lift. You're not really missing anything with a little pre-lift segment. And let's go into the front bumper. Now this ride is very, very snappy, and that's not uh not intentional. It's totally intentional. It's meant to be snappy. Everything is fine. Now without further ado, here is Castaway. So yeah, that's the ride. It is very, very short. From the station to the brake run, it's 90 seconds. You can probably put 30 of those on there, or probably even more than that for the lift hill and the brake run. So I'd say that the total ride time is about 45 seconds off the lift hill, but it is a very, very intense 45 seconds. Also, I did have to change the friction on this thing to 0.8 just to get it to run the way that I wanted it to. We can just go with the ride's running harder wheels on it, so that's why it's running faster. It's not running soft wheels, it's running completely hard wheels. I believe the hard ones are nylon. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I know some stuff about that, but I don't know everything about that. Here's the stats on it. 93.4 seconds long, track length of 2,846 feet, max speed of 15 miles per hour, average speed of 21. Biggest drop is only 66 feet. Keep that in mind. It's still able to hit 50 with that. Lateral G-force of 1.83. That's on one of the wing overs. It's taken for only a second. Max vertical G-force is 5.95, which is again only for a split second, but totally fine for this. Minimum vertical G-force is negative 1.10. That is ejector air time, and you get it right here. You can kind of see the shaping on it, how that would totally be possible. There's only been one other invert that I know of that had airtime, and that was Fire Dragon, but that was floater, not ejector. And I missed that ride very, very much. But anyways, forward G-force doesn't really matter. This is probably brake run where you slam into it. Yeah, inversions 5, airtime count 1, airtime duration is 0.2 seconds, so it would literally just be a pop. Track senior rating is currently low. I call bullshit on that because this whole area right here is themed pretty well. So you can check yourself, Planet Coaster. I don't think you know what you're talking about right now. This ride is very well themed. And pay no attention to this RMC in the background. There will be an RMC in this area, but this is by no means the final layout or location for this. This right here is again an anchor, and I'm going to keep building around it. There's a lot of work that will need to be done, and honestly, I'll probably work on this area right here next, which is kind of the aquatic themed area. This ride has many, many themes, and it gets very, very confusing and convoluted, but this is just a weird park. It makes a lot of sense when you look at it in RCT, and then translating into this is a bit of a mess, but I can do it. This will all look good in no time, and I'm actually really proud of the progress that I've made on this. I've kind of just been doing it section by section. So I'm working on this right here, obviously. I think I'm going to have a path that goes all the way around because I do want you to be able to see this ride. It's a very pretty ride. And you should be able to look at it from different vantage points instead of just one. In RCT, you're actually able to walk underneath it more. Like, you could actually walk like this entire area. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Although I suppose if I really wanted to, I could have a path going right here and then over there. Actually, that would be pretty badass. Let's see how that will work. Let's see. Have it slightly elevated. Okay, that works. That right there just needs to be flattened a bit. Maybe move that over. Yeah, something like that. Actually, that's kind of cool. Then you can theme that up. I don't know. We'll see if I end up keeping that. I did kill a bunch of supports, and I don't really feel like building any. But maybe I will. I don't know. It does seem kind of cool, though. And it would be a nice little shortcut into this back area, which will lead into Germany. Well, it's supposed to. Again, translating this into Planet Coaster has been difficult. Anyways, I'm just going on tangents now, so I'm going to stop this video now. So, thank you all for watching and being very, very patient with this. These things take time. And I do work at a grocery store, so it has been a very busy holiday season for me. But I've been trying to work on this as much as I can. But, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.